Whereas you have in February 2011 compared to February 2010, you would have had 2,731 more in-transit passengers coming to Barbados. But yet they tell you that the arrival numbers are not. But if you go back to February, for example, and you take out in-transit passengers, and let's be fair, go back and take them out in February of this year and also take them out of February of 2010. And when you take out the in-transit passenger component, ladies and gentlemen, you will realize that you only had an overall growth in tourism arrivals of some 25. Only 25 more persons came to Barbados if you remove in-transit passengers. Now, we know what an in-transit passenger is. An in-transit passenger is one who will pass through an airport, sea or airport, connecting to another country or, like in the case of Barbados, or another state. So you don't have a situation where you have in-transit passengers coming to Barbados and spending money with the restaurants and staying in a hotel for maybe 5, 6, or 7 nights. You don't have them going to the Pelican and buying some handicraft. You don't have them using taxis up and down and going on island tours and using all the other attractions that we have to offer in Barbados. But you have an increase, a significant increase in transit passengers, and the government will come to you and boast about their increase in arrivals. But we must ask the question, there's not a lot of money that a transit passenger will spend, and that is a statement of fact. Because if you're in transit, you're more than likely staying in Barbados for less than 24 hours, I believe, because you're either going on to do a connection, and that is the problem that we have in Barbados.
48 hours.
They say 48 hours. So what are they spending? They're not contributing anything of significance to Barbados. We also have a situation where, yes, the government will get increased airlift. They have additional BA flights, I believe, starting Wednesday and Saturday of this week. You will have additional 2 flights coming into Barbados. Yes, we're going to have increased air seat and airlift into Barbados. That is a fact. Yes, we are, as Barbados a destination, we will benefit from over 300 air seats. As long as you can get them, as long as you can get the tourists coming out of the UK and Canada and every other country on those flights into Barbados, so you can boast significant occupancy rates in this country. But you have a situation in Barbados where in 2010, we had the UK market falling by 5%. And the UK market falling by 5%, or you had, in real terms, reported arrivals from the United Kingdom of 181,000, with 259,000 seats available from the British market, or 79% take up. But if you are telling us that you are going to grow tourism, and that you're putting on additional airlift, then tell us, please come to us and tell us, why is it that we're not realizing the significant benefits that we ought to be realizing in this country? Bookings are behind pace in the hotel industry. The airlift capacity is available, but we can't see the requisite increase in numbers. And that is the point that we have to deal with, ladies and gentlemen, and we are going to deal with it. And when you look and see what is happening within the tourism authority, you have a situation where in the fiscal year 2009-10, the government allocated $100 million to the BTA. In the revised and approved estimates of 2010 and 2011, you had the Barbados Tourism Authority granted $92 million. The Minister of Finance said that he was going to allocate an additional $6 million in his budget in fiscal year 2010-11. Therefore, we should have had $98 million. When you look at the estimates, again, we were only at $92 million. And in the financial year commencing April 1 of this year, you still have the BTA budget at $92 million, no additional funds for marketing. So I'm saying to you that the government needs to revamp its marketing campaign. The Minister of Tourism has an obligation and responsibility to tell the country how they spent that $5 million if they got it at all, $6 million if they got it at all. He has a responsibility to tell us what are the results. And he also has a responsibility to tell us what is going on in the tourism industry with respect to the booking incentive. You have a situation where before you had a British tourist, for example, would have been allowed to book a vacation to Barbados and receive £150 booking incentive per person. St. Lucia did it, and they came off and they were very successful. We don't have it in Barbados, and tourism is struggling. You have a situation where there's significant room rate erosion in the tourism industry, and you have another situation where they've gone and they've increased the VAT. And you remember the Barbados Labour Party making the point that the VAT increase in Barbados, that the IMF has suggested to the government to increase the VAT by 18%. You recall that? And they said no. But when you look on the VAT, the 17.5% on top of the 8.75% that would have added, especially on the 2.5% that they added to the accommodation sector, we will see significant increases in VAT, ladies and gentlemen. You also have a situation where the government is being challenged on the same issue by the president of the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association. He said on March 15th at the BHTA quarterly meeting that the BHTA did not agree to any increase or to the deferral of an increase from November to May 2011. So somebody must be misrepresented, and I'm sure that the president of the BHTA is not misleading, ladies and gentlemen, the sector. We also have a situation where they're incurring significant losses in the tourism sector. You have, as would have been mentioned before, one hotel chain in Barbados recording $20 million in losses at the end of September. 20 million. You have a situation where hotels would have in 2009 submitted claims for $84.5 million on the turf. When you add up all these losses in the hotel industry, you will begin to recognize the significance of what is happening in tourism. Even Needham's Point Limited, the reporting entity for Hilton in Barbados, in their annual report, recognizing that they had 8.8 million in net losses. Revenue, fell by 8.8 million and net losses were 5.1 million, ladies and gentlemen. It can't be good for tourism for this industry to be sustaining such losses, and we must not. You have a situation where the cruise ships in Barbados are leaving. Royal Caribbean Lines, for example, they are leaving Barbados. You have a situation where you have the Carnival Victory reducing the number of port calls. And I've been told that I have to wrap up. But I really want to get into some politics within the BTA as well. Madam Chair, you will allow me one more minute. We have a situation where in today's newspaper, the Dems, I one called me this morning to say that check the front page of today's paper, Sunday Sun that is. And I asked him, why would you like me to do that? He said to me that we heard that you are going to Ellerslie Secondary School and you are likely to talk about tourism. And he said that if you look at the paper, you see that the rivals are up. And I said to him, the only thing you didn't tell me though is that there's confusion at the BTA. But I want the Democratic Labour Party to confirm or deny whether they got rid of the chairman of the BTA, Ralph Taylor. Tell us. Don't come and tell us about our rivals up. Tell us whether or not you fired the chairman of the BTA, Ralph Taylor. I want them to tell us whether or not they got rid of the alleged guru who sits in the Senate Central Judge from the board. I'm only asking questions. I want to know. And I want to know if they have appointed a rookie. You're going to appoint a rookie chairman to lead the tourism sector in Barbados. I want them to deny or confirm that what I'm saying is true, or I am telling lies on a national platform, ladies and gentlemen. I want them to tell us if it is a fact that they're about to create or have created the position of deputy president at the BTA, so that they can go back to a man who once held the position of director of marketing in that organization, so they can make good the exit of the current president, they have to tell the people of Barbados if it is true or if it is false. I want them to tell us whether they have more restructuring to come at the BTA, or that is it, ladies and gentlemen. I am not going to tell you who the person they've appointed as chairman. Suffice to say the rookie is there, and I want them to confirm or deny whether they have changed the chairman of the BTA. They have a responsibility to tell us, and to tell us whether or not there are other changes coming to the BTA, ladies and gentlemen. And I know time is against me. But in the face of all these things, it is incumbent upon the Democratic Labour Party, really and truly, to put a national rescue plan together for the tourism industry. It is urgently required, ladies and gentlemen. The government no longer has the luxury of time to play a wait-and-see game. What is the tourism strategy for this country? How will the tourism master plan enhance the further competitiveness of Barbados as a destination? What is the tourism investment strategy that the government will pursue in order to ensure that their promise of having at least 2 brand name hotels in this country every year come to fruition, ladies and gentlemen? We have to act. But fortunately, we have the resources within the Barbados Labour Party to direct this course. And I'm confident, like we've done in 1976, we did it back in 1994, I'm confident we will do it again. We will take up the reins of office, ladies and gentlemen, and we will so direct the activities of this country to ensure that with the help of the people of Barbados and with all the support of your friends and your family and members of this great political party, we will once again trot home to victory.
All you labor warriors come! Roll call! Come let me go! We can lick them down, we can lick them down, them down. We can lick them down, come, we can lick them. Addicted to the